Hey everyone, I just want to thank you for tuning in to our videos on all our social platforms. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Matthew of M&M Exhaust Systems. We've been in business since 1983. I'm second generation exhaust fabricator, and we do more than just exhaust here. My background, we kind of do a lot more custom and classic car work. That's what I grew up doing. And when I was younger, my dad, he was big into building 57 Chevys and all sorts of cars and trucks. But his favorite were 57 Chevy Bel Airs back when he was in school. So today I just want to kind of go over a walk around with Cody's coronet. Cody, I've known him for a while, for a long time here actually. We've done a lot of work for him in the past on his coronet. Cody came to me last summer and started asking about what can we do to his coronet to get it more on the road. He's had it was his late father's car, and so he's had it in his possession for a long time and it's not going anywhere. He's planning on keeping this car forever and handing it down to his kids, and he just wants to make it enjoyable, because as of where it was right when it came in, suspension, as everybody knows on these old Mopars, they're all sloppy. They wallow all over the road. They don't handle really great. Brake system was pretty much non-existent, four-wheel drum all the way around. So it had a 383 in it with a 4-speed. It has an 8 3/4 rear end, which is stock, but it's been built in the past, so there's nothing wrong with that. He wanted to really tighten up the suspension, get this thing roadworthy to where he can take it out and not worry about this thing dying on the road 5 miles down the road, which is kind of what was going on. Every time it went out, there was another issue, which turns into it just sitting and not being enjoyed, which is what we want for all of our cars. We got a Camaro in the background we're working on right now. 68 Camaro, real beautiful car, and I'll probably address that later on whenever we're a little bit closer. But now that we got the coronet pretty much finished up for phase one, I'm just gonna kind of go over things that we've done on it and kind of show people what we do here, because we do a lot more in exhaust. And modern cars, yeah, we do some stuff on them, exhaust, you know, brakes, suspension upgrades. But what we focus on here is classic cars, because that's what we love. All right, everyone, so as you can see, the stance of this car is a whole lot different than it was. When it came in, the back end was squatting. Leaf springs were all wore out. These things have axle wrap real bad. They had a real long leaf spring in the back, which, you know, helped to make it ride a little better in the back. But as far as actually handling the power that was being put into these cars, it didn't do much for traction. So axle wrap was pretty bad. He would go out and do burnouts and wheel hop it real bad, and that's no fun. We don't like that stuff. So what we did, we started out with a Riley Motorsports. It's a K-member up front, brand new coilover K-member, so it's similar to a Mustang 2 suspension geometry, which is a pretty common upgrade on all these cars. A lot of companies use it, Scott's Hot Rods and Ride Tech, a lot of other companies. It's a pretty common swap. In the back, we did the Riley Motorsport 4-link and coilover suspension. And the coilovers all come from Ride Tech, so we kind of dialed in the spring rates and the length of the coilovers for this ride height. We're shooting for an 18-inch wheel, so we got an 18-inch wheel in the front and the back, 8-inch width in the front, 9.5 in the rear, which really helped to fill out that wheel well. This thing had really skinny tires on it, factory wheels. They were 14-inch. But since we went with a 14-inch Willwood rotor up front, we had to go to an 18-inch wheel to be able to fit those big 6-piston calipers up front. In the rear, we did a 13-inch rotor, 4-piston calipers in the back. So I'll go over some of that stuff when I get it up on the lift here. On the hood, so we actually, because of the motor and the intake manifold, we had to get a Hemi style hood scoop put on for it. So our body shop that we have that works with us, He mounted the hood scoop on the hood, cut the hole with the measurements, and since this car is not a brand new paint job, he dialed in that paint with a pretty close sheen. It's really hard to match old paint, especially paint that's oxidized and such, but this car will, in the future, will get a little bit of a polish and it should be pretty close, and that hood scoop will die down a little bit and won't be quite as glossy, but I think he nailed it. This was kind of common back in the day with the super stock cars, so they call it a Hemi style, and they're actually getting kind of hard to find. But as far as the car goes, it's really about the only scoop, I think, that looks good on these cars. And Cody, the owner, he picked it out. He said, that's what I want to run. They had 2 different heights, and after we got it on there, we're like, yeah, that's the right one. All right, and moving on to under the hood. So obviously it's got a new motor in it. This is a 440 that Cody had. He has about 3 or 4 of these blocks sitting around. So he wanted to move up to the 440. He was just waiting to put this thing in this car. Scott over at Spec Racing Engines built the motor. So it's bored and stroked. It's a stroker 440. It's bored out to a 512 now. So it's hydraulic roller. We got big primary headers from Doug's Headers, ceramic coated by Johnny Murder. He helps us with a lot of that type of stuff. Ceramic coating, different coatings and such. It's got a CVF front drive on it. So we're going to be putting vintage air in this car later on down the road on phase 2. If you look closer, we do have a Holley Sniper 2 set up. So we're running the Hyperspark with a Hyperspark distributor, coil box, and the PDM, which makes this a whole lot easier. The Sniper 2 has been a nice upgrade from the previous generation. They don't have the issues associated with the first gen Snipers, and we've done quite a few of them, and they run really good out of the box. So to help cool this engine, we got a Griffin radiator, dual electric fans. It pulls it down really quick, maintains that temperature of this big block, helps it keep cool. From here you can kind of see the Riley Motorsports K-member. Barely see it. It's got rack and pinion steering on it now. None of that rear steer that's all sloppy with the sloppy steering box. So that really tightens this car up. We just took it out yesterday on a back road and on some curves, and this thing is planted with their big sway bar and rack and pinion. It's hard to beat that setup, especially on these cars. This is a lot of car to move around on the road, and when you're going around turns, you don't want it to be leaning real hard and throwing you around inside the car. You just want it to be planted nice and tight, and that's what it did. We kept it manual brakes, so we got a Willwood master cylinder. This was a manual brake car with 4-wheel drum. So to keep it nice and clean, we just kept it manual brakes, which is not uncommon anymore. All right, everyone, so here we got it on the lift. We're going to kind of go over some of the things that we did underneath it. As you can see, there's the Willwood 13-inch brakes we got in the back. They do have an integrated parking brake assembly in them, so all that functions like it should. 18 by 9.5-inch wheels in the back. Come around here. And when this car came in, so it was all original undercoating underneath the car. So what we did whenever we got it up, we wanted, since everything was going to be new, we wanted it to look better underneath. So we stripped everything out from underneath this car. It was sitting here on the lift with just a body, no wheels, no axle, engine's gone. We degreased it pretty heavy, and we ended up pressure washing it and then undercoating it. Cody didn't want to go through and do dry ice blasting or anything like that. This is a real solid car. It's got very, very little amount of rust in it, but for an original Mopar 67, this thing is actually in phenomenal shape. As you can see, it's got a new gas tank in it. It's got a whole new fuel system in it. It's an EFI ready gas tank, and it's got an in-tank pump, which is what we always use. So we always opt for reliability to do in-tank pumps, and we ended up doing a higher volume pump, and on this we have it all controlled with a Aeromotive X1 fuel pressure regulator to keep the pressure at bay. And we did do -8 hose all the way up front so that we can have the volume of fuel that we need fed to that fuel injection. When we had this all apart, you can see we put new stainless brake lines on it, all new parking brake cables. Here you can see the Riley Motorsports, a triangulated 4-link. Fit really nice on this car. Ride Tech coilovers, we got the spring rates dialed in. All new stainless exhaust using Borla Attack crate mufflers to keep it loud and also try to keep that original big block type sound. He didn't want it too loud, but he definitely wanted to be able to hear the kind of the rawness of the age of the car. We tried lots of different mufflers and we settled on this, and I think it was an excellent choice. As you can see, we did subframe connectors underneath, help stiffen up the center of the car. And moving forward, we got a billet inline fuel filter there. It's a 5-micron filter with a stainless element. If it gets dirty, you can just take it apart and clean it and put it back together. As you can see, we did a Tremec TKX swap on this car. It was a factory 4-speed car, but he wanted it to be able to shift and have overdrive, shift smoothly. We are a dealer for American Powertrain, installer for them, so this is their entire kit. So it's their own produced aluminum bell housing, cross member swap. And we did use their Pro twin disc clutch and flywheel in this car, which is good to about 1100 horsepower, which should be more than enough for this engine. I think it dynoed at 652 foot-pounds at 3800 RPM. So we should be more than secure on making sure that clutch isn't going to slip. We'll move forward. You can see the Riley Motorsports K member. Try to get down here a little bit. This was an excellent addition to this car. Ride Tech coilovers up front. And there you can see the massive Willwood 14-inch brakes, 6-piston rack and pinion. One thing you can note, if you are doing these swaps, like this Mylodon oil pan does hang down a little bit lower than the cross member on the Riley Motorsports K member. So when you're driving, you got to be kind of aware of that. Watch for manholes, but that's not abnormal on a Mopar. But this car is sitting lower in the front than it was before. There we have the Doug's headers. Those are a 2-inch primary, 3.5-inch collector header. They're stainless. That's what we opted for. And again, it was we had them ceramic coated with Cerakote by Johnny Murder. He has 300 North finishing services. We use Johnny for a lot of different things. He is a big help, and he is a very great person to deal with. So if you ever need anything done, I highly recommend him for any of those type of work. So yeah, if you guys got any questions about projects that we've done in the past, or any questions about projects you may be working on, you can always give us a call. Our number is 812-482-4014. You can also message us, check us out on our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're also have a YouTube channel. You can check out those videos if you like. Love you guys, and we're so thankful for all of you. And if you want, you can comment. I'd like to hear kind of what everybody's favorite vehicles are. If you have a dream car that you don't have but you want to get, I just think it'd be kind of neat to hear what everybody's interested in. We love all sorts of different cars, and whether it be a newer car or an older car, we all share the same passion in the car community, and that's what makes the whole car community very special. So we just love you guys, and we'll talk to you later.